fast-flying shoot-'em-up Velocity Ultra, and I'm really pleased to announce that this game is bigger and better than the original in pretty much every way. So this game is cross-buy between the PlayStation 4 and the Vita versions, but I really do think that this game is at home on the Vita. It's where I played Velocity Ultra, and where I think that this game really excels. Also, as a side note, this game is free on PlayStation Plus this month, which is pretty awesome. So fans of Velocity Ultra will feel right at home with the ship-based combat and controls, which Futurlab kind of approach with if it ain't broke, don't fix it routine. So you pretty much save survivors, teleport, shoot switches, solve puzzles all your way through the levels, all the while blowing up enemy ships and trying to get through the level as fast as possible. As I said, they didn't really mess with a good thing. They did add in speed pads, which managed to make this extremely fast game even faster at some parts, so even more fun and even more fast. What's new in this game is they've added this whole other mechanic where you can actually get out of your ship as Kaitana, and they have massive 2D platforming levels, and these levels are actually in like 90% of all the levels throughout the game. So there's still the same number of levels as there was in Velocity Ultra, but all these have these 2D platforming levels in there, so it's pretty much doubled the game's size in that sense. I'm also really pleased to say that 99% of the controls, like from ship-based combat, translate really well into these 2D platforming sections. So like the same button that you use to teleport will be the same when you're doing 2D platforming, and it takes this same thing into account where speed is key, so everything's sort of about rhythm and picking up what's happening really fast. And it does provide a lot of learning with people that were fans of the original, but once you pick it up, the controls are really set and you just get it. So in this sense, you're still fighting aliens, you're still teleporting, you're still shooting switches, but you're doing that on foot. There was only one mechanic in the game, which was the teleporting ball, which I didn't think fit as well as the other mechanics in this section because you had to be a bit more precise, and I found the controls sometimes a bit weird. It's a good puzzling technique, I just didn't think it reflected that well the extreme speed that I felt this series reminds me of. Also new to this game is the introduction of boss fights, which I think fits into this series really well, so I'm happy that Futurlab implemented it. This again, you have ship combat, you have 2D platforming, and you also have boss fights, so it really does bring a lot of variety. And I think the boss fights were actually designed really well. Like, I was really impressed. They really weren't lazy with the design of these things. It was smart and a lot of fun to play. And I think like the draw of all this gameplay in general is you will love this if you really like getting high scores. And the real drive for this is trying to get that perfect medal on each level. The story in this game was a lot more developed this time. I mean, if you choose to ignore it, that's fine. It's not going to be detrimental of your gameplay or whatnot, but it is definitely there for you to enjoy if you so please. And they even do flesh it out a bit more by like putting collectible journal entries in it, and yeah, stuff you can read on the side. So if you really want to get into that story, there is actually a lot of meat there for you. And just as an aside, like, they do sort of take a light-hearted tone, so the dialogue is actually quite funny. Tying everything together in Velocity 2 times is the amazing art direction that Futurlab took. The character designs are excellent. The colors on everything pop all the time. As I said, even if you weren't paying attention to the storyline, you would still see all these cutscene images come up and you're like, damn! These all translate to the levels, even the ship combat. Like, some levels you're dark, other levels it looks like you're sort of in a snow environment, and all of them brighten up the game and again give it variety. And it looks similarly good on the Vita and PS4 versions. And as you would expect from a Velocity game, this game still has, you know, the online leaderboards where you can try to verse your friends, see where you're ranked in the world, and what I think is the most fun, as I mentioned before, is just trying to get that platinum trophy. Overall, Velocity 2 times is the bigger and better sequel that we all wanted, and Futurlab definitely delivered it. It's one of the best Vita games in my opinion to date, and I'm going to continue working on that platinum trophy. And as I mentioned before, it's also free on PlayStation Plus this month, so pretty much no one has an excuse not to check this out because it is pretty good. All in all, I score it a 4 out of 5. And that's my review, everybody. Thank you so much everybody for watching. If you are new to my channel, go check out some of my other videos, and if you like them, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon.